All right, I think that's a good angle. Yeah, we're putting up another video. Welcome back. I am just hanging out with the dogs late in the evening. I got a couple board and chains in, and I just wanted to introduce you to them. If you're new to us, I'm Anthony, Anthony's Canine Services. Tucson, Arizona, been at it for 17 years, and I deal mostly with behavioral issues, but I just wanted to make sure they weren't mounting each other, because we don't really allow mounting. But they did knock over a rake because the monsoons have been making the weeds grow in my yard really bad, and I needed to take care of those before I put any videos up. I'm not fond of my weeds. But anyways, we're back, and let me go ahead and flip this camera around and introduce you to the dogs that we have here. All right, most of you guys are familiar with this dude, Little Mac. He's mine. He's the last of a group of 8 dogs. Father Time's caught up to the rest of my dogs, so I don't have a big, large pack anymore. I'm just down to 1 dog. And then we have Leo and Ralphie. So this is Leo. He's a 1.5-year-old Labrador, tan. And then this is a Sheepadoodle in the black and the white. And his name is Ralphie, and he's about 8 months old. Both dogs are intact, and so is mine for that matter. So we got 3 unneutered males out here running around, playing with each other, having a really good time. They're actually really friendly dogs. Super playful, super friendly. They're just here for basic obedience, actually. So usually I have a lot of aggression cases in here, but it's refreshing to go ahead and get like some friendly dogs in here for obedience. Hey, hey, hey. No mounting, mister. My dog is no exception to the rules. He's not allowed to do any of that stuff. Hey, right there. So I essentially, the reason why I'm not letting my dog mount, if you're wondering, is because there are 4 rules that, or there are 4 types of behaviors that I have found that tend to start fights, right? So mounting is one of those things. Of course, the traditional dominant posturing, excessive growling in the play, and then excessive attention-seeking barking. So dog 1 barking at dog 2 to play, but not taking like the hints that like, hey, like I don't want to play, right? So those are the 4 behaviors that we have a tendency to discourage. This video is not going to be very long because it's still super hot. It's like 110 degrees still, and it's 7:20 as I speak. And so, you know, I don't want these guys overheating and then just taking in too much water. So this video is going to be real short, but I just want to introduce you to them. They're friendly, playful, happy, and they have what most happy, friendly, playful dogs, they have the same problems as most other happy, friendly, playful dogs, and that's like jumping up on guests when they come through the door. Leo's really has a really big problem at home with like barking for attention, barking for solicitation to play and interact. So, you know, it's things like that, counter surfing. You know, the real basic general stuff that, if done properly, is usually taken care of at puppyhood. But there's an exception to that, and that's called dopamine. So if a dog really, really just enjoys something, if it feels good to them biologically, they will still try to do it even though we discourage it, right? But if there's no dopamine involved, typically discouraging unwanted behavior is pretty easy because there's no feel-good factor involved with that. So anyways, Ralphie, Leo, 8 months, 1.5 years. And this guy, he's probably easily going on like 8 or 9 years old, I think. Again, he just showed up at my door one day, so I actually have no idea how old he was. But he was super young when he did. But these guys, they're friendly, they're playful. They're having a good time. Try to give them a little bit of playtime. And then during the days, you know, we're just doing basic training inside. Or on some evenings, we'll take them out front and do some obedience up front on the turf. So, yeah, nothing too fascinating to see here. Just a couple friendly dogs hanging out, running around, chasing each other in the heat. And this guy's already giving up because, as you know, the snub-nosed breeds don't do very well in the heat. And they tire much faster and much sooner than other breeds that have longer muzzles. So the nose is the cooling system for the dog. It is their, what you would call coolant and radiator in like an automobile, right? So the radiator and the coolant is what keeps the engine from overheating. Hey. And then, and that's basically the analogy we like to use for the dog's nose and the length of the nose, right? So, but yeah, man, we just wanted to get a video up. It's a little harder to do. Typically, we have a lot more dogs in for training than we do now. So that can take a little bit of time away from content. Hey. He typically doesn't do that. It's pretty interesting that he's doing that now. But, you know, it is what it is. He's just wants to mount the dogs for whatever reason it is. It's not a typical behavior from him, but he doesn't get any passes. He's got to follow all the same rules. So anyways, 5 minutes, man. We're gonna wrap it up. I don't want these dogs overheating. I don't want them taking in too much water and whatnot, but their play energy is really, really good. Hey. Nope. Nope. No mounting, mister. So anyways, that's about the extent of it. And we're gonna cut the video short here. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.